All right, guys, showing you the one car stereo AI box Lite. We've got it hooked up to this. Sorry for how dirty it is. This 2019 Chevy Equinox, and as you can see, the screen here obviously looks a little different. We'll get out of that. I've got it plugged into the actual USB port down here. You can see when you plug it in, you've got these lights that pop on that show that it's working. And we'll click on the Apple CarPlay, and it brings up this interface. Now, I don't have the phone hooked up right now. If you click on the CarPlay, it wants me to obviously pair my phone. But I just kind of want to show you the interface. I will pop over here in just a second and actually get it hooked up to the phone, and we'll see how well it works. And there it is. We've got the Apple CarPlay hooked up. Actually, it's relatively easy. So you hook the box up, you go to your Bluetooth, you hook the Bluetooth up, and everything starts working. So as you can see, you got the radio. All right, so we're back at the main screen. To hook this up, you're going to want to go to your Bluetooth. I believe it's the digits I'm looking for. It's at least for this one. I don't know if they're the same across the board. It's like BT-21 something. I'll throw it up on the screen here somewhere on what mine is exactly. But when you do that, it's going to ask if you want to use Apple CarPlay. You're going to say yes, use Apple CarPlay, and then you're going to be able to actually hop in here. And as you can see, this particular vehicle is a wired only Apple CarPlay. They didn't have wireless Apple CarPlay on these 2019 Equinoxes. I'm not sure when they came out with wireless on the Chevys. I want to say it was 21 maybe. But yeah, I mean, this one, as you can see, the one stereo AI box Lite is hooked up. I don't have any other wires hooked up to this vehicle, so we are fully wireless. And this gives you full wireless capabilities with this awesome little device here. So when you're in the screen, as you can see, my text messages are coming through. You saw when I tapped there, this little icon showed up. If you hit that icon, you've got these three options, and you can hit the back button, and it'll go back to your home screen here. So that's a nice feature to have. I haven't, unfortunately, I had to actually find a vehicle that had wired Apple CarPlay, because all my other vehicles are wireless Apple CarPlay. This obviously does not work with wireless Apple CarPlay. If you already have wireless, you don't need this box. Other than, I'm sure, if you want to watch Netflix on here, but it doesn't work with wireless Apple CarPlay. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you are wanting to use it for the Netflix feature, it is not going to work because if you have wireless already. So I haven't used the Netflix yet. As you can see, I just clicked on it. We're gonna see. I don't know what it's gonna do. It may not work because I'm actually recording this from my phone. My secondary phone has died, so I'm having to use my main phone to record this. But as you can see, Netflix popped up. I'll see if maybe in a later video I can get my secondary phone working so I can show you guys actually using it. I used it earlier, and it's actually pretty awesome. It's got darn good picture quality. So, and actually, I think it might not work because I gotta have this thing hooked to Wi-Fi. It's still a learning process. It's mostly plug and play. Like I said, I literally came in here, I plugged in the AI one box Lite, and went into my settings for my Bluetooth, hooked it up, and boom. I mean, actually, this screen pops up before you even hook the Bluetooth up. And then if you want the actual Apple CarPlay, you have to hook the Bluetooth and enable it that way. But once that's done, it seems to be working. I'll do an update video on this a little bit later when I have some more time to play with it. But it it comes in this nice little box, and it includes an adapter here to be able to go to from normal USB You know, that's where we're plugged in down there to USB-C, which is kind of nice that they thought about that. Also includes just a little instruction pamphlet here. You know, the normal guy, I did not read any of the instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then we got another guide down here. Looks like just some more information that, you know, might be handy if you actually read these things. But that's it. I mean, let's unplug this and see what happens. So as you can see, unplugged it, went back to my normal Chevy screen. You do have two. You got the box here. You have the USB-C. That's what plugs in. That's where you're actually going to get your input. And then you have this USB here. And from my understanding, it's a audio. You can plug a USB device or a USB drive in here and actually use this to play music, audio files, things like that straight from this device. So I'm going to plug the USB-C back into the device. So it's going to look something like that. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to plug this back into the car. So we got that plugged in. We're going to see what happens here. Nothing so far. We'll hit on Apple CarPlay. Plug in supported phone to launch Apple CarPlay. Let's see, is this thing turned on? Yep, you can see the lights are flashing. There we go. I guess it just takes a second for it to boot up. So, boom, like I said, it was completely unplugged. We plugged it back in. Let's go to see if Apple CarPlay is working. There you go. You can see the Bluetooth device, BT-2CB. We're looking for the phone. Boom. That, in my opinion, that works pretty good. Obviously, this thing has to interface with your car. There's going to be a little bit of lag time, but honestly, that was what, 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, and seems to work pretty decent. So, go back to Pandora. You can see I've got all my different radio stations here. As you can see, what I like. I click on the phone, but you don't need to see who I'm calling. And then, it's just like wireless Apple CarPlay. The wife has a 2022 Tahoe, and this is exactly what is in her truck. So if you've got a truck that doesn't have wireless, as we all know, it kind of sucks sometimes getting in, remember to plug it in. This device is awesome. I'm going to put a link down in the description of their website where you guys can pick one of these up and watch some of my future videos. Hopefully I'm sure with all my endeavors I'll pick a truck up that's wired CarPlay again, and honestly I'll probably end up using this thing in my daily driver. It's just unfortunately the daily driver I have right now is wireless Apple CarPlay, and the other daily driver that I've been driving is too old and doesn't have any CarPlay. It kind of predates that. I'm still rocking the aux hookup, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna try one more thing here. We're gonna shut this car off. So we're gonna shut it off. We're gonna open the door. We're gonna see radio shut off. We're gonna close it. Honked at me because the keys were still in here. Wanted to let me know. We're gonna start this car back up. It says connect Apple CarPlay to USB. Plug in supported phone to launch Apple CarPlay. So I'm assuming that this is going to just automatically launch. Yep, so there we go. Car was shut off. As you can tell, automatically turned back on. We're gonna hit the Apple CarPlay. She's the Bluetooth. Looks like it's connecting to my phone. And this is the phone that I'm recording from, so that might be making things a little bit slower as well. But as you can see, it is connecting, and bam. That's pretty fast if you ask me. So there you have it, guys. I was gonna say that's just a quick and down and dirty tutorial of the one car stereo AI Lite box, or box Lite. I do apologize. It's a fancy little device, and I haven't been able to play with it too much. Like I said, I was actually kind of looking for a car that had wired only Apple CarPlay. So now that I've got one that I've found that has wired only, this thing works surprisingly well. You guys aren't going to be disappointed with it. I've read some of the other folks' reviews. Seems like everybody else likes it. These folks are nice enough to send me one to play with and kind of let you guys know what's going on with it. So, like I said, hopefully I'll get a car that has only wired Apple CarPlay. I've only had the wireless. It's strange. I'm sure if I didn't have this, then all my cars would be wired, and it'd be awesome to have this thing. So we're gonna go down here. It's the One Car Stereo AI Lite box. Comes in this little box here, model DPL01. And like I said, this thing seemingly works great. So I'm going to, unfortunately this isn't my car, I had to find one that had a wired Apple CarPlay, so I don't get to play with it too terribly much. But I am looking at a truck that has wired Apple CarPlay. I did verify. And if that is the case, I've got this fancy little box now that is going to come in very, very handy, because I like to just hop in the truck. You know, just like the keyless entry on these things, it sucks having to dig in your pocket. You can just hop in, leave your phone in. As you can tell, it automatically connected. You know, it takes a couple seconds, but you know what? That's not too bad considering everything that this thing does. You can watch Netflix on it. You've got the wireless Apple CarPlay, and it also appears like it has a bunch of other features that I'm gonna have to keep playing with. So, you know, back on the Apple CarPlay screen, as you can see, we've got, I mean, normal. This would be just like if you were in a new Ford, Chevy, Toyota that had, you know, wireless or wired Apple CarPlay. It does have this little box, and one thing you can do is if you don't like where it's at, you can move that out of the way. You know, if you click now playing a lot, you can move that, but it'll ultimately disappear when, see, bam, gone. Click over here, that shows back up, we'll hit it, and then we can hit the back button to go back to the main screen for the AI box Lite.